Hello everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to discuss previous year questions of Cloze test. We are going to discuss previous year questions in two parts. So this is part 1. In this session, we will discuss questions similar to the questions occurred in the SSC MTS exams. Now, these previous year questions have been taken from SSC MTS previous year papers. But some might be similar to the questions occurred in that exam. So let's begin the session. The directions for the passages which is given to us are, in the following passage, some of the words have been left out. It means we will be given a passage in which some words are missing. Now read the passage carefully and choose the correct answer for the given blank out of the 4 alternatives. Now for each blank, we will be given 4 options. That is A, B, C, D. Now one option is suitable to fill in that particular blank. So we have to select one alternative which suits the blank. So let's begin the passages. First passage is, in Switzerland, these glacial melt waters are dash for hydropower. Now hydro is related to water. So let us see the options first. The options for the first blanks are chosen, plotted, glued, used. Now the meaning of these options, chosen means selected. Then plotted means to mark the plots or to plot something, to mark something. Glued means to join something. And used means to taken use for something. Now let us see the sentence again. In Switzerland, these glacial meltwaters are dash for hydropower. It means they are used for hydropower. Only this word is suitable over here. They are not chosen for hydropower. They are not plotted. They are not marked. In fact, they are used because they can be utilized in the process of hydropower. In fact, water falling on 93% of Switzerland ultimately passes dash at least one electric power plant before. Now, what does it do? So passes for, passes with, passes through, passes beneath. Beneath means under something. Now we always use passes through. We always use preposition through with the word passes. Passes through. Through means when something passes in between of something or from between of something. Therefore the correct preposition will be through. So our answer is C. For the second blank, our answer is C. For the first blank, answer is D. That is used. So here for the first blank we have D answer, and for the second blank we have through answer. So this is through in second blank. Electric power plant before even dash the country. Now what should come in this blank? Let us see the options. Throwing the country, catching the country, sieving the country, leaving the country. Obviously, one can leave the country. It cannot throw the country. Throw means to pelt away. Catching means to hold something in hands. Sieving means when sieving is done to distinguish the particles from one to another. That is, we sieve flour to make a dough. So that is the process of called sieving. Now the correct option to be filled is leaving. So our answer is D. So now let us read this particular word with the passage. Before even leaving the country. Because the water is flowing and it is leaving the country. So one consequence means result, is that melting glaciers help to dash for low rainfall in times of drought. Now drought when there is no water at all. Now let us see which word should come over here. Help to, compensate, surrender, slate, stall. Now compensate means when something is given for the negative outcome or to cover that negative outcome. So here, because drought means when there is no water at all, and when the water passes or these glaciers, when they melt, it becomes water. So it helps us in the recovery of drought or in improving the drought or in removing the drought. Therefore, compensate will be the correct answer. So our answer is A. Surrender means the word surrender is not suitable. Surrender means to give up. Slate is a kind of metal, a kind of material noun. So slate refers to a kind of rock. Stall is also not suitable over here. So stall can be used in various other matters. Stall is used for the shop. Stall is used for the condition of being still. So help to compensate. Then we have the last blank: for low rainfall in times of drought, filling reservoirs to supply the nation's dash supply. Now, what kind of supply has been talked about? Stage supply, energy supply, cooking supply, or air supply. Obviously, when we are talking about power, that is electric power or hydropower, so we are talking about energy, to supply energy. So our answer is B. So here the correct word will be energy. Now let us read the entire passage all together. So this blank is energy. Now let us read the entire passage again. In Switzerland, these glacial meltwaters are used for hydropower. In fact, water falling on 93% of Switzerland ultimately passes through at least one electric power plant before even leaving the country. So, one consequence is that melting glaciers help to compensate for low rainfall in times of drought, filling reservoirs to supply the nation's energy supply. So, this will be the entire paragraph. Now, let us move to the next passage. Hopefully, you all have done the same questions or the same options as I did. Now, let us move to this passage number 2. Now, let us read this passage. Try to find out the answers with me. The thought here is that because saliva is dash alkaline. Now, whenever we solve a Cloze test, try to write answers which you think of. When I write the entire answers, try to match them or whether your answers are correct or not. This will help you practice Cloze test more and more. Now, the thought here is that because saliva is dash alkaline. Now, here alkaline is an adjective. So we need an adverb over here. Now let us see the options: slightly, slight, slightest, slighter. Slightest and slighter. These are the comparative and superlative degrees of adjective. So these should not come over here. To qualify an adjective, we need an adverb. So it should be slightly. Slightly is an adverb. Therefore, if the word is same, we have to match the part of a speech that is required. Here, to qualify an adjective, we need an adverb, so it should be slightly. So the correct word here should be slightly alkaline. Stimulating it by chewing gum after eating dash help neutralize the acidity. Now, eating what? Eating shall, eating need to, eating could, eating may. Now, here the correct model that we should use is may, because it is just a possibility that stimulating it by chewing gum after eating may help neutralize. Now, shall only comes with I or we, or it can come after the third person, but in case of command, threat, and some necessity. Now, eating dash help neutralize, so it will be may. Could is the word used for requesting something or when we show the past ability. So this is also not required over here. Need to, when we need something, is used. So this is not correct. So may will be the correct modal to be used over here. So may help neutralize the acidity in your mouth and throat. Dash a very small study from 2005 did. Now here we have options as, while, so, yet. So In this case, it is written, if I write as a very small study from 2005 did. So here we will need some other thing, because as a very small will make the sentence as a conditional sentence. So here we will write while. While a very small study from 2005 did. So while refers to when the situations are compared. Now here we have a word did. Now after did, we can only use verb first form. So it should be find. So answer will be C. So here, let us read the entire passage again. While a very small study from 2005 did find some merit to this approach, the size of the study makes it difficult to dash any real conclusions. Now, whenever we have two preposition, it should be followed by verb first form only. Now, let us see the options: draw, expel, sell, repel. Well, all the verbs are given in first form only. Now, let us see the sense of the sentence: to dash any real conclusion. Now conclusion should be drawn out, so it should be draw. So to draw any real conclusions. Now let us see the options again. It is expel. Expel means to oust someone, or to suspend someone, or to make someone something out. Sell, to sell something, to give something in exchange of cost or money. Repel, when two things repel each other, means when two things separates each other. That is called repel. So here we come to a conclusion that draw is the correct word to be filled over in that blank. So our answer is A. Now let us read the entire passage again. The thought here is that because saliva is slightly alkaline, stimulating it by chewing gum after eating may help neutralize the acidity in your mouth and throat, while a very small study from 2005 did find some merit to this approach, the size of the study makes it difficult to draw any real conclusions. So this will be the entire correct passage. Now let us move to the next one. I hope your answers are the same as mine. Now this is passage number 3. Now let us read this passage first. When Jane died, dash 1850. It means this is a year. So here we need a preposition like on 1850, in 1850. So with a year, we use in. Now let us see if it is given in the options. On, in, at, into. Into is used when the medium is converting to something else, when conversion is taking place. So for the time duration, for a long time duration, we use in. For a long time duration, we use in. For the short time duration, we use on. And it is used for the point of time or the clock time. For example, at 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, and so on. So here the suitable preposition to be filled is in. In 1850, she called one of the most distinguished novelists dash England has produced. Now, we are talking about a novelist. Novelist is a person, but here we are choosing something from choosing someone from many. So let us see who, what, whose, whom. Now who is a nominative case which cannot come. We need an objective case. What, whose, these cannot come. Whose is a possessive case. The correct word to be filled is which. So here the correct word is which England has produced. And the first who dashed that beautiful kind of fiction. Now let us see the options for the third blank. Introduced, dismissed, casted, energized. Obviously, one is not energizing anything over there. Dismissed means to removed, to expelled. This is also not the suitable option. In fact, introduced is the correct answer. So our answer is A according to the sense of the sentence. It will be who introduced that beautiful fiction. It means to just started or began that beautiful kind of fiction, the historical romance. The Potter sisters' careers ended dash as the Bronte sisters. Now, or the Bronte sisters. Now, here before as, we cannot use lest. Lest means otherwise. So it is not the suitable option. That as cannot come together. Must as, no. It should be just as. So just as is a phrase to show that exactly same. So just as the Bronte sisters were getting started in the early Victorian dash. Now Victorian, let us see the options: terms, period, session, spell. Obviously, when we read literature, it is divided into Victorian period, Edward period, Jacobean period, Renaissance period. So this is period. So our answer is B, because we are talking about the era or the duration when Queen Victoria reigned. So the early Victorian period. So this will be the correct answers. Now let us read the entire passage again. When Jane died in 1850, she was called one of the most distinguished novelists which England has produced, and the first who introduced that beautiful kind of fiction, the historical romance. The Potter sisters' careers ended just as the Bronte sisters were getting started in the early Victorian period. So this will be the entire passage, which is absolutely correct. Now let us move to the next one. Now, this is the fourth passage which we are going to do. This is a big passage. Let us read some of it. To mark the 25th anniversary of the run, Dash Royal Canadian Mint unveiled a $1 commemorative circulation coin. Now, mint is a place where currency or coins are made. So, it's the name of a mint. Therefore, let us see the options first. So, for the first blank, we are given the options A, in, of, the. Now this A, in and the are the articles. Now of is a preposition. Run of Royal Canadian Mint? No. There should be an article because the name is proper or the name of is of the mint. So we write the before it. So it should be the in place in this blank. The Royal Canadian Mint unveiled a $1 commemorative circulation coin, Dash Monday, on the campus of Simon Fraser University. So Monday is the name of a day. Now let us see the options first. At, through, on, over. We always use on with the short time durations or with a day. So this is on Monday. So on Monday, on the campus of Simon Fraser University, Fox was Dash undergraduate student. Now, student is a noun, undergraduate is an adjective. Now, let us see what are the options given. But for an idea, we should have an article before this. So let us see the options first. There, a, and the. There shows the position. A and the. These are articles. So whenever we have a structure like adjective, then a noun, we always have indefinite article before it. Now, the word is undergraduate. Undergraduate, before which we have to use an article. Now, this undergraduate is an adjective and undergraduate is beginning with the vowel sound. Now, if it is beginning with the vowel sound, we should write N before it. So, an undergraduate. So, our answer is N. Undergraduate student and basketball player at SFU when a malignant tumor was discovered in his right leg in 1977. It resulted in dash. Now, which resulted in fragmentation, amputation, vasodilation, implantation. The correct word will be amputation. Amputation refers to a situation when a part of the body is removed just because it has been wounded seriously and it cannot be recovered. So whenever there is something or there is a body part which helps us move, is removed from our body, that process is known as amputation. So because his leg was injured, or this malignant tumor, it means the dangerous tumor was discovered in his right leg, so it was amputated. It means removed, it means cut from the body parts. So here the suitable word is amputation. A bronze statue of Fox, one of many such tributes across Canada, looks over the academic quadrangle of the university, just a short stroll from the theatre where Monday's dash was held. So Mondays, we have been talked about this before as well. Unveiling, countervailing, reconciling, overveiling. So the correct word is unveiling. Unveiling means to show something. So unveiling is the correct word over here. So the correct, or the entire passage, let us read it again. To mark the 25th anniversary of the run, the Royal Canadian Mint unveiled a $1 commemorative circulation coin on Monday on the campus of Simon Fraser University. Fox was an undergraduate student and basketball player at SFU when a malignant tumor was discovered in his right leg in 1977. It resulted in amputation. A bronze statue of Fox, one of many such tributes across Canada, looks over the academic quadrangle of the university, just a short stroll from the theatre where Monday's unveiling was held. It means his shows were held. So this was the entire passage. Now let us move to the last passage of today's session, that is passage number 5. So this is about the Sesame Street. Now Sesame Street is a name of a program broadcasted in Russia. Now, a spin-off dashed to be the first Russian language educational TV. Now, a spin-off set out. Here the suitable word is set out, which is correct phrase over here. So, a spin-off set out to be the first Russian language educational TV. What? TV program, solution, pattern, or recipe. Obviously, it is a TV program. So our answer is A. We see programs on TV. So in this second blank, we have program, the suitable option. So program aimed specifically at preschoolers. The project dash support from both American and Russian government officials. So what about support? Received, did received, receiving, receive. Receiving is used only after the B form, which is not given at all. So it should be received. Receive is in present tense. Did received cannot come together because after did we need only verb first form. So our answer is A, which is suitable word to be filled over here. So now let us read it again. Support from both the project received support from both American and Russian government officials. We do not reform our dash. We can hardly hope that we will reform our society. So here it is written, if we do not reform our. Now what? The options are society, politics, education, and economy. So obviously, the two things can be reformed by us, that is society or education. But in the sentence which is given to us, we will reform our society. It means this is another part, so first part is something else. So this should be, if we do not reform our dash, we can hardly hope that we will reform our society. Now in this blank, here we have options: society, politics, education, and economy. Now, the another instruction for a reformation of society is already given. Therefore, we need to reform something else. It means to reform our education. Because if we are not reforming our education, we are not reforming the society, or we are not able to reform the society. Therefore, our answer should be C. Now, let us see the last blank. Dash Elena Lensk. Elena Lenskaya, a director in Russia's Ministry of Education, during a 1992 US congressional learning on the planned adaptation. So, this was somewhere told, ordered, said, muted. So, it is said by. So, our answer, the suitable option to be filled over here is C, that is answered. So, our answer is C. So, the word that should come over here is said. Now let us read the entire passage again. The Sesame Street spin-off set out to be the first Russian language educational TV program aimed specifically at preschoolers. The project received support from both American and Russian government officials. If we do not reform our education, we can hardly hope that we will reform our society, said Alena Lenskaya, a director in Russia's Ministry of Education, during a 1992 US congressional learning on the planned adaptation. So this will be the entire passage, and this is absolutely correct. Now we have read 5 passages, and we checked how many questions of our were correct. So I hope all of you have done mostly correct questions. So thank you very much.